Does becoming a strongman increase running speed? We're going to discuss that in this video. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name is Eric Moss. I'm a personal trainer, motivational speaker, and a modern-day performing strongman. If you're unfamiliar with what a modern-day performing strongman is, picture the strongmen of old, legends of the past like the mighty Adam and Alexander Zass. They would perform real-life feats of strength as part of a live show. I do a similar thing, but with a modern-day twist. Some of the feats of strength I've performed in front of a live audience include things like bending steel bars, breaking chains with my chest, twisting horseshoes, rolling up frying pans, driving nails to wooden boards by hand, and even holding back a high-performance motorcycle. Now, being a modern-day performing strongman and the fact that there's not a whole lot of us around these days to answer people's questions, in an effort to grow my YouTube channel by giving you guys what you want, I started a YouTube series called Ask Eric Moss, where I'd invite you to ask me a question by dropping it in the comments below. And when you do that, I'll try to get back to you with your very own custom video answering your question. Pretty neat, right? So this question comes from @EABV2VI. And they ask, does becoming a strongman increase running speed? Well, let's actually try to figure out what the question actually is, which is, I think, does becoming stronger increase running speed? Because being a strongman is a specialized is specialized towards feats of strength. Your body adapts to that which you train it for, in which case I train purely for strength, as well as a bit of looks too. But I need to be strong enough specifically to be able to do the feats that I do while on stage. Having said that, generally getting stronger can increase running speed if that is what your weakest link is. So there was a group of runners, and they were put on a powerlifting style program centered around bench, squat, and deadlift. They would train for the marathon, but they would also powerlift. And then the control group just trained for the marathon and didn't do any powerlifting-based movements. And actually, I think the control group didn't do any training, but there was like split tested between marathon training and marathon training plus powerlifting. The marathon training did make progress. The control group didn't make any progress. And the powerlifting plus marathon training they got stronger in the power lifts, but interestingly enough, it also decreased their marathon times. So that is one where you wouldn't think would be a direct application to training. Because like with sprinting, it's pretty obvious that sprinters lift weights. You just look at some of the pictures that are out there of some of the top level sprinters, guarantee they lift weights. That's not just from sprinting. In one of Dan John's books, I don't remember which coach he said this, but there was a book that he had read back in, I'm not sure, it was a long time ago. And, you know, Dan John is heavily involved with like track and field type events, right? And in that book that he was reading, the marathon runners were expected to have a double body weight deadlift. That's marathon runners. They're not even strength-based athletes. But he wouldn't have necessitated them to have a double body weight deadlift if it didn't transfer in some way to their running. So I hope that answers your question. If anybody else has any questions, drop it in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you with your very own custom video answering your question. But if you like this video, let me know by hitting that like button. If you want to see more of this sort of thing, or you want to see the chronicles from my various performances across the country, subscribe to the channel. If you think anybody should see this, please share it with them. This YouTube thing isn't rocket science. And if you want to support the channel, you could pick up a copy of my book. The links are in the description below. That book chronicles my story of how I became a modern-day performing strongman and the things that I learned along the way. Plus, it's got some fun stories in there, and it's an enjoyable read, even if people are just reading it for entertainment. Or if you also want to support the channel, you could provide a super thanks. And if you provide a super thanks to the question, I'll shuttle that question to the front of the queue. Because right now, I think I'm about 6 months behind on these questions. But that's it for today. Please stay tuned for next time. And in the meantime, please stay happy, healthy, and strong. Eric Moss, over and out.